What's up, party people, and welcome back to another episode of Dance Specific Talks. I'm T-zer.
And I am Coach Sebastian, and we are hella excited. Hella excited for this episode. It's been a minute. It's been a week. It's been exactly a week, but it feels like it's been a
We
minute.
have been very on our weekly schedule, I would say.
Yeah.
One podcast a week.
Shout out to us.
Shout out to us.
Shout out to us. Shout out to us. How are you doing, T-zer? What's happening on Amsterdam?
Amsterdam. Well, Amsterdam, because you always are so curious about our weather, we have had a fog
I am not surprised.
on top of our entire days for about 4 days. So it's been like being in a milk package, a fog. Like it's literally like right there. So you don't see the sky, you don't see sun, you don't see clouds, we still
Nobody's
haven't
surprised.
had rain,
Nah.
but it's been like lid on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's
I'm
a
look-
little bit suffocating that one actually.
I'm looking forward to do a podcast with you when you don't look cold.
Well, in about 3 months, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad to hear. Thank you for that.
So
Thank
how
you
are
for
you
that.
doing in
I'm doing amazing.
Andorra?
I'm in Andorra right now. For you guys who do not know where Andorra is, it's a country, tiny country in between the mountains of Spain and France. And
It's a
yeah,
country?
yeah,
Wait.
yeah, no, it's its own country. Yeah. Andorra is its own country.
I thought it was just like an area,
No,
a
no.
province of
It's its own,
Spain.
it's its own country. I think there are 70,000 people, the population,
Ooh,
something like that. Yeah.
tiny. Okay.
Tiny, yeah. Yeah, wherever I go, sun is shining. So sun is shining. Just had an outside workout also. So yep, you know the vibes.
Ah, dear listeners,
Yeah.
the arrogance of this man and his weather choices. The arrogance.
You gotta choose summer.
Um,
Choosing summer is a choice. No, but so all good, all good. Been here for 2 days. We're living with our friends Erik and Maggi, who are the owners of V Dance Club, which for you guys who don't know is the biggest platform in the world when it comes to Afro-Latin dance, kizomba, salsa, and bachata. Is the ones that own the platform that we were in Spain with last week. So we recorded for their platform. That's one of the reasons we went to Spain, right? And now we went up to meet them, just hang out, and of course focus on doing the last things of the recordings. And then tomorrow we head back home. The day after tomorrow we spend the whole day in the studio recording. Sunday back to paradise, back to Cape Verde. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds intense. How are you like keeping up with everything? Because
Good.
I mean, it's hard to keep up with a routine, even when you have a stable home and like a regular life. That's hard to keep up with a training routine then and eating healthy. So how it seems like nearly impossible when you're traveling that
I think
much.
I think it's a choice, honestly. I honestly think it's a choice that you have to make that choice and make it a priority. So we've been traveling, it's the 23rd today, so we've been traveling for 23 days. And the whole thing about that is just that, of course, I work with training, right? So I could justify it like, yeah, but you work with training, but I make it a priority. I make my training a priority. Because first we went to, where did we fly? We flew from Mindelo, São Vicente to Sevilla, stayed one night in Sevilla, and then I trained straight away. Yeah, it's just train straight away when I trained. When I landed, I trained. Then we went to Huelva. In Huelva, I had a gym at the hotel, so I trained once again. And then we danced every day, and it was a buffet. They had buffet, so I mean, if you have a free buffet, it's so easy to stay on track. So easy to stay on track. Like now, you're just making choices. It's like it's easy to stay on track, but you're making bad choices. So it's not that that's hard. You know what I mean? So that's
But like for example, finding a gym and so on, like you just look nearby on Google Maps
yeah.
type of thing. Okay.
Yeah, take anyone. Take any gym close. So it's like it gets more expensive, right? But you don't need a gym. So when the entire time in Barcelona, I stayed 2 weeks in Barcelona, and I think I hit the gym 3 times, but every other day I did dance specific training. So just staying true to your things, dance specific training. I don't even when we go to restaurants. I did a post this other day. Like I was with the boys. All the boys has like big margarita with like a Corona inside of them. We're eating at a Mexican restaurant, and it's like, yeah, but like I choose juice. Like it's not a hard decision. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
hard to wake up, take your kids to school, then go back home, try to squeeze a gym in, or try to do a workout, and then like go to your full-time job, go back, pick your kids up, make food, then try to go out dancing. Like that routine is harder. This routine is
Mm.
just like, but yo, like just choose the right thing.
Mm.
You know, so it's the you don't need the skill that you want to develop is not the skill of making or like sticking to your program. The skill you want to develop is keeping the routine. Like
Mm.
keeping the routine is the skill that you want to keep on. So like you just keep on going. You just keep on going. You take the healthiest decisions. So like it's not that I don't drink alcohol, but I mean, guys, if like it's a Tuesday, like I wanna wake up early and I train.
Mm.
So I believe that's the biggest one of the biggest skills that you have to develop. Just whatever is the healthiest on the menu is kind of what I choose. Whatever that makes the
Mm.
most sense with like where I am on my like quote eating schedule. Like I don't follow a diet, I don't follow anything like that. I just make sure to take the right decision. And that comes with
Mm.
knowledge. And that is again one of the things, the main things, one of the big things that I teach my students is that because you got to be able to keep a sustainability to your lifestyle. So
Yeah. Do you then like help them with that?
yeah,
Like,
of
do you
course.
make a schedule
Yeah,
or
yeah.
what? How does
I mean,
that look like?
yeah, we make them a schedule. So I always say that like I will never give anybody a diet unless they want to like compete in bodybuilding, because diets only work as long as you stay on the diet. And if you want to
Mm.
compete in bodybuilding, I'm the wrong trainer. Like you shouldn't go to me. That's not what I'm the best at. And I'm the best at training dancers, right? So that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not the best at being a bodybuilder, at helping bodybuilders. But we give them a meal plan. But the meal plan, see it more as like nutritional guidance versus having like, okay, this is food prison. I am going to call and scream at you if you don't eat broccoli 12 o'clock on Thursday. That's not what we do over here. So we want to give them a meal plan so they understand it's like, okay, this is how much I should eat. So the question becomes, how much should you eat in order for you to perform optimally versus if you do bodybuilding, it's this is how much you are allowed to eat. So that's the difference, right? So it's like, no, here's how much you should eat to perform optimally. So it's not a diet. So once you understand, it's like, okay, I should have 2 portions of chicken for lunch and 1 portion of fish for dinner. But say you're with your family and you're somewhere cooking and they are cooking beef. Yeah, but because we are teaching you the nutritional value and you learning how to navigate in this nutritional spectrum, so to say, you just know that okay, but 1 serving of beef is the equivalent of 1 serving of fish. I'm making it up, right? But the more knowledge you have and the more you can apply it, the easier it gets. So
Yeah.
it's just knowledge, yeah, and that's what it all comes down to. That's all it comes down to. And I think it's the same thing as dancing, right? Once a lot of beginners, when you come out dancing and you're in the beginning of your dancing career, a lot of people is like feel that, oh, this is a new dance style. Like how do I move to this music? How do I move to this music? And once you are accustomed to dancing and you have your own way of moving, it's like, oh, nice music. Let me just move. Let me dance. And then I can place things on top of it. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, as you say, there's this core, right? But if the
Yeah,
core is like has full of holes or gaps or yeah, with knowledge or with routines or whatever, you can't build on it. Everything else is an add-on. That's going to be so much easier if you have the core.
exactly.
It reminds me of a quote that I heard the other day. I had to look it up here. Everything changes when you realize that the best version of yourself is not a future version, but a daily choice.
There you go. There you go. The best version of yourself is a daily choice.
It's
So,
not a future, like
nah,
I'm gonna, you know, no, it
the
is the
best
daily
version of
choice.
yourself is a daily choice. You make that decision. And I'm making my health a priority because I love dancing, because I love feeling good. So I don't want to abuse my body for 26 days, like almost a month, because that's how long this tour is. So I don't want to abuse my body for a month and then come back and it's like, oh my God, now I gotta, start from the beginning, or I don't even know where I'm gonna start.
Mm.
So stay on point. And then some days are just really, really hectic. And then, yeah, like yesterday I didn't train, but just do push-ups. Just do push-ups at home or just do squats at home. And it's not that, I'm doing it and it's gonna give me, my muscles is gonna grow. But that's not only the reason we're training, guys. The point of doing push-ups or doing like exercise while you're having like these long, deep work sessions, the point of it is that you feel better and you
Mm.
feel healthier and it's good for you. Then if you put on some muscles, I mean, congrats. But
Yeah.
you will be shocked of how heavy it can be and how much you can get out from doing less than 15 minutes of that specific training. Like the workouts we're recording now, we're developing them so you can do level 1 to level 3. Level 1 being for beginner and level 3 being the hardest. And you'll be amazed on how tired you get from 15 minutes. And you can really scale it down to fit you because the whole point is just that I want to be able to train next to my grandmother or my
Mm.
grandfather. So you can do a lot. You can do a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So, but then again, you just have to make the decision because the best
Mm.
version of yourself is the daily decision.
It's a daily choice.
It's a daily
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah. Wow. It's also interesting because I feel like I saw this other clip from Buddha Stretch, I think it was,
Yeah.
where he was like, don't learn the steps, learn the dance, you know?
Yeah.
And then people were like, but what is like everything is dance, right? He's like, nope, dance is rhythmically moving to music. Without the music, there is no dance. And then he's like, and without the music, you don't have all these cultural expressions that come out of it.
Yeah.
But to taking that all back to, I think that we have as teachers, as coaches, we've been so focused in the past on that we need to teach the steps so correctly
Yeah.
that the whole thing of but what's the dance? What's the expression of the dance? And what am I supposed to feel when I
Yeah.
dance this? Or what am I like? What is it connecting to? What is this an expression of, you
Yeah.
know? And yeah, in a way, that's why a lot of diets don't work. That's why a lot of training programs don't work because it's like learning the step instead of learning the dance.
That's a
You
hundred percent what it is. That's 100% what it is.
you need to find your dance if we're translating that, and your dance is so unique to you, right? But it's okay, I like to move in the mornings before breakfast or
Yeah.
after breakfast, and when I have breakfast or I don't have breakfast because my body works on intermediate fast. Like this whole thing, it's about finding that rhythm. It's
And it's
about
about
finding
creating,
the
yeah.
rhythm.
And I don't even see it as like finding rhythm. I believe it as creating the rhythm. Because
Mm,
you got to create this. You don't find
mm,
like, I remember when I went to Australia and I was 19 and someone asked me, like, what are you doing here? It's like, well, like I'm trying to find myself. And they told me, it's like, yeah, how's it going? It's like, did you find yourself under a rock? It's like, what do you think you're gonna find yourself? You don't
mm,
find yourself. You create yourself. So you're
mm,
traveling to get experiences that you then can come back home with, and then you create the best version of you. Then you create someone new, or you create the
yeah,
person you want to become. And the
yeah,
same thing here is like, I give people meal plans. It's like, oh, can I change the spices? And then, okay, time out. Look at this. So there are three things you need to look at. It's the carbohydrates, it's the protein, and it's the fats. These are the three things we care about. Then if you're at your spouse mother's place, you can eat whatever you want. Just
mm,
don't take all the French fries. If you're having
mm,
French fries and burgers, take more burgers. Why?
mm,
At the end of the day, it's protein,
mm,
right? And the more you understand this, just like you're saying, then you can then you create your own rhythm or you create your own
mm.
dance rather instead of just like, oh, what's the move? What's the move?
Yeah, because when you're out of the flow, like when you're out of it, you know, it's hard to understand where to start. But
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know, like I just wish I could give that motivation not only to others but to myself as well. That like when you fall out of a routine, when you fall out of a pattern, you start like shaming yourself and blaming yourself and guilt tripping yourself because like I'm so lazy that I didn't keep up with this or whatever. But that only takes you so far. At some
Yeah.
point, you need to fall in love with like creating your flow, your
Yeah.
dance, and being curious about what works for you now in this age, in this period of your life, in this area where you now are currently.
Yeah.
Like that is a part of also me and Anders had this conversation about being like turned on by life. That like if you have that like, hey man, like I am like life is good. Like
Yeah.
I'm a bit turned on by my life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Then that needs to be translated into adding those things that makes you great, that makes you flow better, that makes you feel even better, that makes you fall in love even more and being turned on even more by the things that you see. And maybe then and only then can you actually reach some type of happiness, you know, because you have created a system that works
Yeah.
for you, for your health, for your body, for your soul, for your curiosity about the world.
Yeah. You gotta get excited. You gotta get excited about life.
Gotta get excited.
Yeah. And then, but then a lot of people goes, okay, but how do I do that? And you have to pretend like here's the key, right? And it's the same thing with, it's gonna sound strange, but it's the same thing when I get new students. It's like, of course I'm passionate about helping people, but I don't know you. I don't know you, right? Like here's a random person that I've spoke to perhaps an hour,
Mm.
and now you're with me for 4 months. But you have to, you have to pretend to care until you actually start to care genuinely, right? Like I genuinely want to help my students. No, it's not what I'm saying. But in the beginning, it's like, but I don't know you, right? So you have to fabricate this thing in order for me to get truly excited. And how do I do that? It's like, okay, but I got to create a relationship with them. Okay, so we, of course, I send them a health form, but then like I got to talk to you on the phone. Like I need to see you. Send me videos of you training. Send me
Mm.
videos of you dancing. Send me videos of you of your food. Send me this. Send me that. So the more information I have about this student, the more I actually is like, oh yeah, but this is Monica. She lives now in Shanghai. Okay, wait, she just moved. Okay, wait. Oh, she has a dog. Okay, cool. And here's 5 dance videos of her. It's like, whoa, like I really like her dance. Okay, cool. Here she's training. So then I'm creating a relationship with her, and now I actually care, right?
Mm.
And the same thing goes with your life. They're like, but oh no, but you're not excited about life. They're like, yeah, but I just go to my job. I don't like my job. It's like, well, you get to go to your job. You get to go like, how can I have time? How can I finesse my life to make sure that I listen to inspiring podcasts? Like, how can I finesse it? What are the things I can do to get excited about life? What are the things I can do to make sure that I'm excited about waking up and, like you're saying, getting turned on by my own life? And the same thing with everything. Same thing with everything, everything, everything. And there is so many things, so many ways and hacks to do this, right?
Mm. Yeah, and I guess like the visualization part is a huge part of that. If you can't visualize yourself walking down the street, you know, with a proud posture,
Yeah,
knowing that you are you have amazing people around you supporting you because you're a dedicated friend and
yeah,
because you feel good, you feel strong, you can dance a long time because you know you're putting the right things in your body, whatever. But if you can't visualize that first, it's very hard to get there or to take the steps or to even see the road that is going to happen. So I guess the first thing is what we talked about last week. Like who's your alter ego?
yeah,
Who's your what's the part of you that you maybe haven't given enough room for you to create like this altered reality.
yeah.
If you can visualize an alternative reality for yourself, there's a big chance that that's actually what you want, that that's actually somewhere deep down, that's actually what would make you more happy.
Exactly. And I think a lot of us dancers, we need to stop saying fake it till you make it. Because it's not about I say this in my TEDx talk. It's not about faking it until you're making it. It's about doing it until you're becoming it. And the difference is that if you fake it until you make it, it's like, oh, but I'm gonna be on stage. Like, yeah, whacking. Yeah, I know whacking. And then you're faking it, and you're faking it, and you're faking it, and you're faking it. But then when it's time for you to actually be on stage or to actually do what has to do a show with whacking, and you've just been faking it, and this was your big moment to big moment to blow, like that was your one
Yeah.
chance, then you didn't make it. But if
Yeah.
you would have been doing it, and you would have been taking the practice, and you would have been practicing, and you would have been doing it, and you would be rehearsing, and you would be practicing your lines, and you would doing your flow.
Mm.
So you've been doing it, and boom, now you become it. And the same
Yeah.
thing goes with if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, or what does people that get excited about life do? What do they do?
Mm.
What do they look like? Well, they enter the room fast. They enter the room with energy, or they spend time in sun, or they work out, or whatever, right? So it's like I look at myself. It's like, okay, but what do people that are 10 years in front of me? What do they do? It's like, okay, everybody have a like a rigorous workout routine. Got it. Got to do that. Majority of them don't drink a lot of alcohol. Got it. So I should probably slow down on the alcohol. Majority of them do X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. So it's like then you go extreme, and then after once you've been extreme, you're like, okay, but like that was too much. So now I'm gonna find my way. Now I'm gonna
Mm.
find my way to like, start to navigate and find what balance it is that I want for my life.
Mm. I think it's interesting because there's like a lot of really funny memes going on right now on Instagram and so on, whereas like when you are in your 30s and you can't decide which life path to choose because you have literally, you're still in the age where you enjoy going out to clubs and like have a great party. I mean, like
I
these
love it.
R&B parties that have been around now lately, like, oof, like, you're just in there singing your heart out, in the clubs. And then at the same time, you have like the next video of the same person like out tracking in nature or camping. And then you have the next one like building a business. And then you have the next one, which is like spiritually finding themselves like on a retreat, like
I
the
love it.
30s in this age, like creating a family or like completely living single life. We're in that age now where like we have so many examples around us
Yeah.
of people that are doing quote unquote the best thing we know,
Yeah.
but which path to take? You
Which
know what I
path
mean?
to take? Yeah. And that's the thing is like you got to get to know yourself, and a lot of people are just busy getting to know the world and getting to know new places and getting to travel. It's like, yeah, but you got to travel into yourself. You got to get to know yourself before, or not before, but at some point. At some
Mm,
point, because if you don't, you're gonna get stressed. If you don't, you're gonna get super stressed, right? And they're like, I'm here with again, Eric and Majid. They're living two completely different life. One of them is more focused on actually getting married and building a family. The other one is single as a Pringle, you
yeah.
know? But, and it's not that they judge each other or talk down. It's just two very different life paths. But then they combine at work and they do X, Y, and Z, right? So
Mm,
there are these things that you have to do, these fundamental things, and you have to get to know yourself. Don't just focus on I want to get to know the world, I want to travel. No, you got to get to know yourself, you got to travel into yourself. If not, you are going to get lost for sure. Because
mm,
that's what the midlife crisis is.
mm,
That is the midlife crisis, right?
mm.
The midlife crisis is not 40s. Midlife crisis is 60s. The average age on the planet, I think, is like 73. So here we are.
Wow.
Here we are.
Yeah, and like I'm so also happy. I know you would never maybe watch this, but there's a show on Netflix called like The Later Daters. And it's a dating program for people that are like 50 and up. And
Nice.
it's really, really cool. And it's produced by Michelle Obama.
What?
And yeah, wanting to highlight, that there's a lot of single people in this age and they are like boomers, right? So they are not in the technology age. They are
Yeah.
not on the apps. They don't know how that works. It feels very shallow. They don't know how to interact like that. But many of them are also lonely, divorced, or,
Life happened to
their
them.
spouse passed or whatever. And yeah, it's super interesting to see into their reality because obviously we're like 20, 30, even 40 years younger. And to navigate now being 50, 60 looks so different from when we grew up and looked at people that were 50, 60. And
Yeah,
we're talking 50, 60 today is Michelle Obama, is, like they are the women that are representing that age group now.
yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, I don't know how we got here, but it's a very
It's a
interesting
different world.
concept.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
different world. And I think that's one of those things. I ask myself this a lot. And if you look at people like Steve Harvey or even Snoop Dogg and these people that have been in the game for such a long time. And then just like they stay relevant. And Steve Harvey is
Mm.
not, you could argue that Snoop Dogg is doing some quote corny things, perhaps. Like not corny, but like Snoop is Snoop. You know what I mean? Snoop do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But I don't see Steve Harvey on TikTok. You know, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't see him. I never saw his Steve Harvey or Snoop for that matter. Snoop did a few of corny, a bunch of corny dances, but like Steve Harvey never did. But he's still
Mm.
around. This is super relevant, super relevant. And Snoop just launched a new, it just dropped a new album. Fire album with Dre. By the way, we haven't even spoken about it, but that shit
Oh,
is fire.
I have not listened to it. I need to.
Oof, oof, you're missing out. Oh, you're missing out. Oh, you're missing out. There's a song called
I
Out
love
of This
that.
Mind. Yeah. Out of Mind? Yeah,
Okay.
Out of My Mind. So I think it is. Awesome.
Yeah.
Heavy tune. Heavy tune.
But that's also the thing. Like we have to also realize that not that our future could be Snoop Dogg's, but that our future is still very long. I think that a lot of
Yeah.
people that come in their 30s and have a midlife crisis don't realize how long there is more to go. And even if
Yeah.
time goes faster, because I do really think it does, with when you get older, it feels just like time is kind of passing by in a faster pace. But still, that's like 30 years ago, we were toddlers, and we have another 30 years of career or changes or choices of how we want to live our life to do. So,
This is just the beginning. This is
yeah.
just the beginning. I'm going for 100. I'm going at least 200. So I'm not even, I'm one third. Literally one third. Got two of the good thirds left. A
Mm,
lot can happen, or a lot will happen. So, and
mm,
that's the beautiful thing. And again, like you got to keep reinventing yourself. Have to keep reinventing yourself. So it's like, yeah, Snoop is doing some corny dances. Yeah, but he keeps reinventing himself and he keeps dropping gangster shit, right? So he's still himself, keeping it, doing his thing, but keep reinventing himself, you know? So I think that
yeah.
that's the, I'm personally excited about the future. I'm personally excited
Yeah.
about the future. The world is looking as it looks, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna cause some crazy changes in the future. And especially now with the new president of America.
Oh my God.
Here we go. Buckle up. Roller coaster. Roller
Like,
coaster. That is what's gonna happen.
like, I mean, we're not talking about politics in this podcast, but like, yeah, it's just it all boils down to there are no consequences for wealthy men.
You do what you want. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Let's get it. Fuck
There
it.
are no consequences. There are no consequences. That's like
Taxes,
it
fuck them.
doesn't. Greenland, take them.
Take it.
Canada,
Mine.
52nd state or what the fuck ever. Like, what? What? What are
I do what I
what
want.
are we doing? They are going out of the World Health Organization,
Who cares?
which is their biggest finance. So
We're gonna boost the
they don't
economy.
want to
Why?
they
I
don't
say
want to
so.
be in the Paris Agreement about
Forget
like
it.
climate change.
Doesn't exist.
They want to revoke like something crazy like 22 new laws that made it better for LGBTQ plus people.
Forget him. Crazy.
They have he's revoked the agreement to like it was something like the natives have finally got to name certain things in their language like a mountain and stuff. Revoke that shit.
My
We're
mountain.
back.
The Trump mountain.
What? What? Releasing prisoners that stormed the Capitol?
We don't
What?
need them.
What's happening?
Getting to
It's
work, boosting the
yeah,
economy. It's the golden
building
age. We're back
army.
at it. It's the golden age. Why? I said so. Buy Bitcoin, buy real estate. It's going up.
What? I
Going
thought
up.
he made his own bitcoins.
Let's get it.
It's just wild. It's wild.
It is what I'm saying. It's Wild West. It's Wild West. You gotta choose the lens you're watching this thing from. You gotta choose the lens you're watching this thing from. I choose to see it as a comedy show because I believe that's the only way I'm gonna survive this. What can you
Yeah.
do? Like, what can you do? You should talk more
Nothing.
about these things. It's like, no, no, I should
No.
not. No, I should absolutely
No.
not. Cause why? Because it
No.
doesn't matter. They have like
No. It's
they
a
have
waste of
already
air.
decided. Yes, they have a
Yeah.
waste of breath. They have all, this is the track they want to go. This is their country. They do what they want. I don't even live there.
No.
They just speak their language. It's like, no, no,
Not that
no.
it doesn't affect the rest of the
Yeah,
world,
it's
but
gonna.
yeah. Anyway, dancing specific talks.
Yeah, fam. Yeah, fam. No, but I'm
Yeah.
like I said, I'm looking forward for the future. I think that's the only
Mm.
way you can see this, and you gotta dive into yourself before you dive around and trying to explore the world and do all of these things because it is bound to happen. Some shit is bound to happen this next 4 years for sure. So
Mm.
you need to find or create a way for you to navigate around this. For me, it's physical training and breathing exercises and meditations. These are things I do every day, and meditation slash naps. But
Either or. Either or.
either or, a
Yeah.
moment of silence with closed
Yeah.
eyes. That's what I encourage everybody to do.
Mm.
Fam, I think it's time to
Amen.
move that soul.
It's time to move that. So, bam. For the people who don't know, it's a card game that I created for dancers, where you can speak, talk, ask questions, and you can also hit those moves if you want to.
Speaking of,
Mhm.
I actually did move that soul together with Punti, Made Punti, a nutritionist here in Barcelona.
Oh,
Yes, 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 yes.
nice.
Yeah, I interviewed her and then we did move that soul in the end. So gonna post that link. Oh,
Oh,
yes, yes, yes.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna pull a card. I don't know if you have already had this, but in what way do you express yourself differently when speaking versus dancing?
I'm much more freer when I'm speaking, I believe. More, or am I? Hmm. Well, I I dare to be more vulnerable, or I know to be how to be more vulnerable when speaking. Absolutely. I
Mm.
don't judge myself the same way as when I'm dancing, perhaps. And because of previous injuries and previous just perhaps even like verbal comments that I might be carrying still, that I like haven't, well, not even verbal comments, but like could be judgment that of how my style looks, because it's very my style is very my style
Mm.
when it comes to dancing. I stay within like those realms, perhaps. Versus like speaking, I'm very open. I don't fear judgment because I know I can explain. Like I come from a place of love, and if what I said sounded bad, it's like, well, let me just explain it, and then if it didn't
Mm.
sit well with you, then so be it, right?
Mm.
Um, but yeah, even though I feel like very similar to with my dancing, I have the same mindset when it comes to my dancing. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. That's a great question. That's a great question.
Mm. Yeah, but I like that because some people would maybe argue the difference, right? Like that
Yeah,
they don't dare to say, but when they dance, they
yeah.
express. But I like that you were honest enough to say that it's not that
Yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. I even
Yeah.
like I've come to the stage now in life that I prefer public speaking over dancing
Mm.
for sure, for sure, for sure. I
That's
love dancing. I
cool.
love dancing, and it's like I crave it, right? I crave being on
Mm.
stage. But if I could choose, I would probably choose doing a public speaking and mixing in some dancing. But if I
Yes.
can choose like 20 minutes on stage, public speaking, or like 5 minutes dancing, because
Yeah.
that's like how long a solo show is, like at the most, tops, tops, tops. So
Mm.
then I choose public speaking for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's just a
Nice.
different way to express yourself, right?
Yeah.
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 Read yourself a question. Read yourself a
Um,
question.
what is the most thrilling versus the least exciting in your current dance life?
Ooh,
I would say that I find it still very thrilling that I can tell that I'm developing.
nice.
And that's very thrilling. As in, like, I can tell that I'm developing in my choreography, especially right now, but also in my freestyle, when I'm out social dancing. I can just tell that I'm like still not like on one level, but like it just keeps on getting deeper and deeper, which is really nice. I like
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to be very more daring in my choreographies too. Like before I was like, no, but they probably just gonna like a slow song, or no, they're probably only gonna like to do these type of moves. And now I start feeling like, a ready or not,
Here we go.
this is the choreo.
Yeah.
This is what I feel right now that I need to get out rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm daring to just take a little bit more challenges and broaden the spectrum. What the least exciting in my current dance life? Um, well, um, it's not like I have a lot of new type of events that I'm partaking in. Like it's kind of the same, but I love those. However, the it's this is the first year where I don't have like, oh, I'm gonna go to these countries and
Yeah.
dance, or I have this booking or whatever. I'm like so focused on my own things and my upcoming retreat. I
Yeah.
just spoke with a retreat center today. Ah.
Nice.
And so there's like I have so much more excitement around that the
Yeah.
least exciting thing is actually the events. Before it always used to be like, oh, I'm looking forward to this battle, or I'm looking forward to this festival. And I don't really have that this year.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that's the
Nice.
least exciting part. Everything else exciting is already happening on like a weekly basis. So I'm good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Mhm.
beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's the balance of, again, like, this is not exciting because I'm not traveling, but I'm still excited about it, right? And this, again, is the lens you're choosing to see it from, right? That's all it comes down to. And how
Mm,
how do I create excitement? Because what you're talking about is two sides of the same coin. It's not exciting per se because I'm not traveling as I used to, but it's very exciting because I am developing a group of women that are taking my choreography so I can push them and do new things. Right. So
exactly.
it's just two sides of the same coin. So it's very interesting. Thank you for
It's
sharing.
all very positive. I must say, like I'm in a very positive state,
Nice.
where I'm less stressed about bookings and outer validation, to be honest. Like I
Yeah.
really like this year, I don't expect to have any outside validation. I don't expect anyone to book me. If they do, that's amazing. But I
Yeah.
am really so focused on my own stuff. I am not waiting, and I trust that whatever is gonna come along, there's other things. Like I'm very excited that I'm gonna continue my education in storytelling
Let's go.
this spring. Yeah, so I'm taking my second course in storytelling, and I think that this is like way more like what? Like I'm just like I want to tap into that art discipline. Like it's an
Beautiful.
art form. There's artists that are traveling around the world t telling stories, and I'm like, wow, that's something that I could see myself doing, and that's something that I could see myself blending dancing with, just like how you talked
Nice.
about public speaking. And I've
Yeah.
met some amazing, incredible storytellers that you just feel like, whoa,
Yeah.
like this is a what an honor, to carry that role like we used to have around the campfire, that we used to have around the caves. Like it's like some kind of ancient thing, this thing with
Mm.
storytelling that I'm like, we see it everywhere, every inscription in the Egyptian hieroglyphs, every left kind of proof of ancient civilization is storytelling, right?
Yeah.
In a way. So I don't know. There's just something with that element that I'm like super curious about to dive deeper into.
Is it
And
in Swedish or English, by the way?
English, English.
English. Nice.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. So I did my first introduction in COVID online, and now I'm gonna finally be able to attend like a live course, and it's 3 days straight, full days, and
Wow.
I'm very excited. Yeah,
Wow.
they
Nice. When is it? When is it?
April.
April.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Nice. Beautiful.
yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Familia, guys, if you guys are still watching, we want your feedback. If you are listening we're this far, it literally means that we're doing it for people like you. We're literally doing it for you or with you, perhaps even. So please share your feedback. Tell us what you want. More interviews are coming up. And yeah, let's get it. See you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Don't forget to click subscribe, comment below, and give us a rating or review. We have a Facebook page, YouTube page, and we are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and all the other podcast platforms. We also have an Instagram, so don't forget to tag us in your favorite episode and share it with the world because we read all of it.